you guys for praying, for encouraging me, for not telling me I'm doing a horrible job, allowing me to fail, and then celebrating with me as we succeed. It has been a wild 3 years, and I could not have planned it. And I definitely, going into it, was not excited about some of the things about it. But I am so glad and so blessed that God brought me here to Babylon and to be able to work with this church, especially since they have such a beautiful building. But I really appreciate the support the past couple of years. That was kind of my rookie seasons in ministry. And there are a lot of things that I've learned over the past couple of years that I think will really help me moving forward, not just with the Cook Island stuff, but the rest of my life. And this place will always be a home, have a home in my heart, and I hope that I always have a home here, and will be visiting whenever I'm around. So thank you, all of you guys, to my Powerhouse squad. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your encouragement and kicks in the pants. All right, so as I was saying, I just really appreciate all the support over the past couple of years. It's been great. It was a really difficult thing to think about leaving here. A lot of the kids, a lot of the people who got to do ministry alongside, like that ornery old man who takes a lot of pictures. Oh, hey, Mr. Dave. Yes, the beautiful. And I think one of the scariest things about leaving from one ministry to go to another thing is, what about all of the kids? What about all the things that you've kind of been building? And I am so grateful that I know that I'm leaving in really good hands. Working alongside me for the past several years, I've had some really awesome volunteers. A bunch of them are sitting over at that table, and there's some young people who may someday be over here. But I'm really glad to know that the youth that are connected to this church will be in good hands with Taylor, as she is now the new director of youth ministry here. I really believe
Taylor!
I really believe that my personality is good for some things, but not good for everything. And I think it worked really well for the past couple of years. But it's kind of like you hit a plateau and you need somebody who's a little more stable mentally, someone who's a little bit more even-keeled and can have conversations. And I really think that Taylor's going to do things that I was never able to do here with the youth and also with the church. So I'm really excited to see as she moves forward in that ministry. The people from New Zealand actually came from, and before they were there, they were in Tonga and Samoa. So it's all in that region that the Polynesian people were kind of voyaging, unbelievably voyaging in these little crafts through these little islands. Now, Rarotonga, which is the island that I'll be on, is a pretty small island. It's about 3 of these tables combined is the size of the whole island. No, it's actually 8 miles across by 3 miles. So it is a fairly small island. Those of you who know your Long Island geography, it is the size of Smithtown.
Woo! Smithtown!
Yep.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's up there. And the population is about 14,000 people on Rarotonga. So it is a substantial amount. It's 1/10 the population of Smithtown, but a comparable size. So some of the fun things about the Cook Islands is they are kind of like the Bahamas for New Zealand and Australia. A lot of people go there to vacation. So it's very westernized. It's had a lot of influences from Western culture, but they still hold very dear to some of their customs. The main language there is English, but they also speak Cook Island Maori is the local dialect that they all kind of share. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful island. Number 2, next to tourism, is offshore banking. So if any of you guys have any investments you want me to take over there, I will try to help you out. Okay, I got you. No, it's a very, very beautiful island. But there are 7 different villages on Rarotonga, and each one has their own rugby team. Each one has their own little set of churches. And in the 1820s, the first missionary came to the Cook Islands. Now this missionary, he went on to several other islands until he was eaten in Vanuatu, where they actually ate 8 other missionaries. But I won't be going to that island, so I should be all right. But a little anecdote, I was in New Zealand working with some Samoans. They have great humor in Samoa. And one of them leaned over to me and he said, "You know, Eli, 40 years ago, you'd be looking pretty delicious." Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, I guess it is a compliment, yeah. I was like, is that an insult or a compliment? Should I be scared or happy? How do I take that? No, but it's a very, very beautiful place. But at the same time, in the midst of all that beauty, there is a large number of teens who aren't hearing the gospel. And when I had an opportunity to go there a year and a half ago, I got to see a lot of the cool things that the churches were doing, a lot of cool things that were happening even on the government level. They were praying together before work every morning. And I was like, man, we need to bring this back to the States because they've got things under control. And then I had an opportunity to go to some of the rugby games and really dive into the culture. And I saw a lot of brokenness, a lot of hurting. And it reminded me a lot of what's going on here on Long Island. The churches are there and they're strong, but they're having a difficult time reaching out to the youth. They have youth programs, but they're not able to reach the unchurched kids. And that's one of the passions that I have in my heart, and one of the things that Youth for Christ has a passion for.